Good morning. This is Jeremiah from MoreDirectBooking.com, and I got a really great comment from Eli yesterday, and I wanted to share it with you so you can see how, first of all, it's a complex idea, but second of all, how we can walk our way through it to help our hotels increase our revenues. So let me read this for you. I'm doing a presentation up in Anaheim, and he said that he read this and he thought it was relevant. So here we go. Quote, "Hotel teams are pushed by owners, field marketing reps, regional teams that they see on competitor sites and even themselves to come up with something new. Throw as much at the wall as possible and hopefully something sticks and try to have something for everyone. It's an everyday reaction to general managers or asset managers' question, what else can we do? But we have to be brave enough to acknowledge that in an online world, less is more. To prove this point, review OTA displays. Our OTA partners have contractual access to everything we create, but they often don't list everything we offer and send them for sale. OTAs, paid by the actual reservations they generate, do not waste precious space cluttering up their customer displays with too many rates, cute product names, corny taglines, and paragraphs of text that consumers don't easily understand or read. OTAs listen closely to their data and know that offering a few product options can sell their total products, as it's simpler for online customers to understand, compare, and purchase product options." All right. At face value, I really agree. I mean, if we're saying, hey, less is more, that reminds me of Taco Bell, right? When they simplified their menu, they found that it was so much easier for people to stumble in and order, $5, $10, $15 worth of stuff before they've even realized what's going on. I totally get that. And I have to say, this is a very seductive idea. Less is more. Great. We don't have to do so much, and we will get better results. But let's break that down. Let's start historically and see where these ideas kind of come apart when you pull at the thread. So in 2008, as you know, ADR, RevPAR, occupancy took a huge hit, and a lot of hotels laid off their marketing departments. Those that didn't, they slashed their marketing budgets, and as a result, a lot of hotels started relying on the OTAs. It made sense, right? It was like, hey, you can try this out. It's a commission model, so use us when you need us, don't use us when you don't need us. Unfortunately, it became like pain medication, right? It became an outsourced part of your continual operations. And as I'm sure a lot of people have experienced with pain medication, it's so hard to get off, okay? So that's one point. If you look at the less is more idea in terms of UI, UX, user interface, user experience, that totally makes sense, okay? Because people are going to the OTAs to get a 10,000 foot view of the hotels in the area. It's really easy for them to see, hey, these are all the hotels, these are all the rates, these are all the rankings, and they can sort them, and it's really just like a search engine for hotels. So it totally makes sense from the user's point of view. But we do have to remember that's the macro side of marketing. That's the 10,000 foot view. If you're talking about the content inside of the OTA's website, we're really looking at catalog copy. From a copywriter's point of view, it's very brief product description, price, and then move on to the next one. Now the OTAs have had to do this simply because they just have so much inventory to offer, right? And they've also had to do this as a standardized method to offer the information. So they've been able to A/B test what information is most pertinent to customers. But again, it is a 10,000 foot point of view. They've positioned themselves as search engines, and that's all good. But, and this is the important thing for hotels to realize, Google tells us that 52% of people that book check the OTAs first and then go to the hotel's website. And this makes sense, right? After you get that 10,000 foot point of view, you want to get into specifics. You want to see, does it have what I'm really looking for? Is it really a good value? And that's where the hotels have a competitive advantage, right? You have the majority of traffic. This number here, 26.2 sites, that's the statistic that Google finds that people bounce around and they look around before they actually make a booking decision. So both of these facts support the idea that when somebody is looking, first of all, they're going to get that 10,000 foot point of view, and then they're going to look in for specifics, right? If they're not just interested in booking right now, but maybe tomorrow or the next day, looking at your website is really, really what it comes down to. And at this point, I want to introduce a very, very important idea, and that is direct response needs a special offer. As a direct response copywriter, whenever I'm working with clients, I'm saying, hey, what is it about your offer that makes you unique, makes it urgent, makes it guaranteed in some cases, or drives a competitive price point or feature point advantage? So let's really keep that in mind, because if you're just talking about offering apples on the OTAs and apples on your website, well, you're not really driving a wedge. You're not giving consumers any better reason to book direct than on the OTAs. And especially since they're using the best in technology in terms of booking engines, well, you're slightly at a disadvantage if you're not differentiating your offerings on your website. So that's the point that I really have to push back on in this article that Eli sent me. Hey, we shouldn't offer all the bells and whistles. Well, the OTAs aren't doing it, but actually you should, because the bells and whistles are what people are after. And let me prove that. Okay, the OTAs have differentiated themselves in consumer minds by sticking to the main message that we offer the best deals, the best rates. And largely they've been able to do that by contracting. But hotels have caught onto that and they said, hey, we do have the best price guarantee. So you're pushing back in that way, and that's very good. But let me continue. Airbnb has pivoted and shifted in another way, and they said we offer the most interesting deals, right? The deals that really speak to you, the deals that, hey, this shirt matches me, this place matches my personality, who I am. I'm welcome there, and everybody likes to feel that. So if hotels want to compete against, we offer the best deals and we offer the most interesting deals, I say you need to say we offer the real deal. Because every conference, every trade show I've been to, the conclusion is always this, that hotels will never be beat on service. The OTAs can't do it. Airbnb can't do it. In terms of cleanliness, in terms of the entire experience, that's what it's really about. Just don't use the word experience too much. That's my pet peeve. I was actually looking at a magazine and there was a mechanic shop and it said, hey, experience the best drive-through oil change, right? It's been overused, don't do that. But what I'm saying is copywriting is about a special offer. So why not talk about special offers in service? Either it's a VIP status, so somebody doesn't have to wait in line, they get easier check-in, they get perks, whatever it is. Think about how your service can be differentiated on your website versus on the OTA offering, because the right appeal is more, right? Less is more. On the OTAs, okay, I get that. But on your website, the right appeal is more. This is something that John Caples, really famous copywriter, says, is that spend your time figuring out the right appeal for the right target market. The marketer's holy grail is the right message to the right customer through the right medium at the right time. And that really means that you need to get the right appeal on your website for the right customer. So when you're talking about your website and you're talking about maybe remaking your website, please don't use the word content. Hey, what kind of content should we get? that's a, how much verbiage should we have? How many paragraphs should we have? That's unconsequential. What is the right context? Okay, so if a business traveler is visiting your website, what's the right context for him or her? What's the magic button that you push and you satisfy all their desires for your property? My father-in-law, he's the VP of marketing for a large company. He travels around the world all the time. He hates those old, air conditioning heating units. He calls them wall bangers because they're so noisy. If you can just say, hey, no wall bangers at our hotel, that's the magic button for him. So we want to make sure it's the right context for each group. That's an actual easy way to think about it. When you're talking about group business, you know that senior citizens have special needs for their group, and weddings have special needs for their group. So you're able to satisfy that when you talk to them directly. Well, transient travelers have special needs for their travel as well. Airbnb has actually identified that very, very, very well. And then you need to do that the same. Just as I've seen through many trade shows I've been to, we look at Airbnb and we say, hey, what can we learn from them? Well, we need to learn to be more personable. We need to learn to win on hospitality. So that's the conclusion here. Less is not more. Less maybe is more when you're looking at the 10,000 foot point of view. But when people are zooming in and they're saying, is this right for me? We need to be as personable as possible. We show our service as much as possible. And just like group, service is different for different segments. The high school traveler and the married couple are looking for different things. So it's really important that you appeal to them in different ways. So I hope that's answered your question, Eli. And for anybody else that has questions, please leave them in the comment box below, and I'll get back to you right away. All right? Hope you have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye now.